So we got a massive Nintendo Direct, which in my opinion, I honestly think the Nintendo Direct is like a huge W. First of all, we're just going to start with the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Final Wave. Like, this game has been going on since the Wii U. I mean, you're talking about like 2013, 2014, and it's 2023. This game is basically 10 years old. I know the deluxe and the original version are a little bit different, but it's just the same game that was enhanced for the Switch, with the deluxe version. And so to be at this point where we're at Wave 6, the final wave, we get Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, Peachette. I mean, this is by far maybe the best wave that we've gotten, just because of the fact that we get Funky Kong and Diddy Kong. We get 4 characters and 7 more courses. That is insane content for a game that, again, is over 10 years old, and I cannot believe that it's coming out this winter as well. So I'm super happy for this. I know everybody is super happy for Funky Kong. So we got the Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon, which was this was announced before the Summer Direct, but this is another really cool game as well. It's coming summer 2024, and this was the game that was announced the latest. We didn't, in terms of just time scaling, there was not one game that was announced that was further into the future than this one. So yeah, his name is Dark Moon. I love that. Yeah, I don't know why they're not calling it Dark Moon here, but it is Dark Moon, and it's a really good game. I'm kind of interested in it, but it's hard to get happy about a Luigi's Mansion 2 remake just because it's coming out so far away in the summer. I kind of wish this came out in October of 2024. I feel like it would be a nice little October Halloween game. You know how these games are obviously based off of ghosts and stuff, but I guess I digress here. We got some amiibo action here. Okay, so the real reason why I love this direct, though, other than obviously Mario Kart, is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door coming out in 2024. I played this game, made a video on it. I love it. This is really one of the best games I've played, maybe ever. Paper Mario has such a deep story, such an amazing slew of content going through all the chapters, and just everything about it, the gameplay. I mean, this truly is the best Paper Mario game. This game has so many amazing characters, the personality in this game, and they didn't, look at this, they didn't change anything. This is just enhanced graphics. To be honest with you, the graphics, for Paper Mario, even today, if you play the original one or if you play it on Dolphin, it still looks pretty good. So, I wasn't expecting the graphics to be significantly better, but this does look definitely better than the Dolphin version and the original version. And just seeing this, turning into the paper airplane and going through the castle to fight the dragon, and just going through meeting some of the characters, and I can't wait to meet Bobbery again. This really is a beautiful game to remake, and I've been seeing recently the Xbox 360 store and a bunch of other different ways of getting old games kind of die out. And I think that it's kind of a sad thing seeing a bunch of games lost to history, and it's like Sonic 06, for example. That game, you're not going to be able to get that game digitally anymore on the 360 store. So if you want that game, you're going to have to buy it now or get it physically, unless Sega decides to do a remaster of that game, which I really think they should. But it's just crazy to me that we're at a point where some games are actually being lost to history. And this was a game that hasn't, it came out once on the GameCube and that was it. Obviously you can play it on Dolphin emulator, but still, the fact that they're porting it to the Switch is significantly more convenient, and it makes the Nintendo Switch a 10 time better console than it already was. I mean, the Nintendo Switch definitely is Nintendo's, obviously it's their greatest console of all time, but it is truly one of the greatest consoles of all time. In my opinion, I think the Nintendo Switch is the second greatest console of all time, right next to the PS2, because of the catalog of games. The Switch has such a deep catalog of games. Obviously, after 7 years, that's what you would expect, but it's even better than what you would think in a 7. It's better than the PS4. It's better than the Xbox One. It's truly second to only the PS2, I think. So Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, that is a massive mic drop moment that they had. F-Zero drops today, which is really cool. It's just a 99 Battle Royale player game on the Nintendo Switch Online membership, which I definitely am going to check out because this does look pretty fun. Princess Peach, this was a huge reveal for them because this is Princess Peach's first game to my knowledge, and this is a pretty cool game. Basically, it's like a Broadway show where each different show that they put on, Peach gets new powers, and you have to save each theater. with the powers. You know, she can become a detective, she can become a ninja, she can become, you know, a cook or a chef. So that's pretty cool. Honestly, I think it's definitely a game worth checking out. This is probably their biggest release of 2024 until the Switch 2, obviously. You know, the Switch 2 is coming out probably in the holiday of 2024, but this is the biggest game that they have until that comes out. I mean, if you look at the schedule, this comes out March 22nd, I believe, in 2024. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty big game. It comes out right around that springtime season, and you know, if you actually look at the release window for a bunch of these games, if you just go from October of this year up until about March of next year, it's going to be jam-packed with a bunch of titles, and some we're going to talk about in a second. But this game, I honestly think is going to be a good game, and I'm definitely going to check it out. I am curious to see the reception on this game, though, because I think a lot of people would have rather seen this as a day one launch title for the Switch 2, but we'll see how that actually works. So Super Mario RPG we already knew about, and you know, there's not really much more they could have shared. I mean, it's just Super Mario RPG. They did show a little bit more gameplay and talked a little bit about the mechanics, but it's just Super Mario RPG. Basic RPG features, new little gameplay, you know, snippets there, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, this game is definitely a must grab. I mean, it's gonna be the second of their big holiday games alongside Mario Wonder. So yeah, Mario basically took over the show, by the way. So then we have this game. A lot of people do not like this game, and I don't blame people for not liking it. And the only reason people don't like this game is because they want a new Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong is such a popular character, people love Donkey Kong, and they want to get a game that reflects Donkey Kong, not Mario. So when you announce a game like Mario vs. Donkey Kong, it's really disappointing because I'm not even sure you can play as Donkey Kong in this game. I'm pretty sure you just play as Mario, and Donkey Kong has a cameo in this game as like the final boss. So it's really disappointing to some people, but for me, I'm not as disappointed because I've never really played too many Donkey Kong games, so I'm not as big a fan. I'm kind of just taking this game at face value. I've never even played this game before, so it's a new game to me, and so for that reason, I'm actually really excited about it. To dive in and see what it's all about. It kind of looks like a puzzle game and stuff, which looks cool, but I've never really seen a Mario game quite like this, so I am excited to try it out. But I do understand why people are definitely like disappointed by it, although I will say, I mean, some people were expecting like a ridiculous amount of things. Like some people were expecting, oh, Metroid Prime 4, new 3D Donkey Kong game, maybe the Switch 2 reveal, and it's like, okay, yeah, the showcase, if you were expecting all of that, yeah, that's definitely like a 2 out of 10. But if you were like me and you managed your expectations, the showcase was at least like an 8 out of 10. I personally give it a 10 out of 10 because I think that they did a fantastic job of actually like giving us a roadmap for the rest of the Switch and the life cycle that it has left. So. And then we had some Splatoon DLC as well, which I'm not really a big fan of Splatoon, and I also really thought that this gameplay wasn't particularly good for Splatoon. It just looked like kind of black and white and kind of hurt my eyes to look at. You get the Tomb Raider remaster, which is really cool too, but I guess, you know, the big stuff is just, it's Paper Mario, it's Mario Kart The Last Wave, Super Mario RPG. I think this is like the biggest stuff, you know, like this comes this winter too, so I'm expecting this to come in December, but this is such, like, look at this, Daisy Circuit from the Wii, you have Diddy Kong and Funky Kong. Like, this is definitely what the fans wanted for Mario Kart, and I just think that this is like, you know, I don't know how people can see this and then say, yeah, the showcase was okay. Like, all year long, for the entire course of 2023, people have been saying, please give me Funky Kong, please give me Diddy Kong, right? We even get Pauline and Peach Chat too, that's 4 characters. People have been asking for these characters for so long, and then when we get it, oh yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess the showcase was okay. I mean, I just think that the internet is just always going to be cynical, and like, you know, I even talked about it, I think, in a video about Sonic 06, where I was saying the internet is always going to at first hate something, and then over time people are gonna be like, man, that was so amazing. It happened with the GameCube. I mean, people at first hated the GameCube when it first released because the disc size, because of the file size, you know, third party wasn't necessarily great on there. and people hated the GameCube. Now all of a sudden the GameCube is a classic. Oh my gosh, of course I love the GameCube. How can you not love the GameCube? But at the time, people didn't actually have that opinion. That's what I think is happening here, because I honestly think that this was a great showcase, and I think once these games start to roll out, people are going to be like, man, that direct was, like, watch, next September, well, maybe not next September because of the, Switch 2, so obviously everything next, year is going to be amazing because Switch 2 hype. But, in the future, people are going to start comparing September Directs to this one and be like, well, this one was better. I mean, we got Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, we got the final wave to Mario Kart Booster, so I don't know. I think the internet is just too cynical sometimes, but this is a game that honestly took me away. Like, we don't have a release date, so I guess technically, I said there was no game that was announced into the future further than Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and that's technically true because this game doesn't have a release date, but this game probably going to end up being a Switch 2 title on the launch day because, I mean, let's be real, this is a great game to have on your Switch 2 as a launch. And it would also be a very, very good way to highlight that the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with the Nintendo Switch. So that's why it would be cool to, like, hey, you can buy this on your Switch and play it on your Switch 2 as well. So it'd be a really good game to announce like that, to have that backwards compatibility element like for the Switch 2. But overall, honestly, this Direct was really great. I genuinely actually love this Direct. The only thing I didn't like, honestly, was this, where they announced a museum in Japan, which I don't understand why you're announcing a museum. You could have done this in a tweet, but the fact that you did this in a Direct where it took up like a couple minutes time is kind of ridiculous. I just don't think anybody particularly cares to hear about your museum that's not even out yet, that's not even done being constructed yet. In a video game Direct where we're supposed to get gameplay and showcases and reveals and stuff. So that was probably the only downer moment, but we got a couple, I think we have 3 shadow drops today, including F-Zero 99, which I'm definitely going to check out later today. And yeah, we got a bunch of announcements for the holiday season, and we got a bunch of announcements for the early spring of 2024. So I think that's pretty cool if you ask me, and I would give this genuinely, honestly, I would give it a 10 because my expectations were managed. I knew exactly what to expect, but I was still pleasantly surprised. Did not expect Funky Kong and Diddy Kong. Did not expect to get Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door at all, and I did expect to get Mario vs. Donkey Kong because it was leaked from Pyoro, but I also didn't know what Mario vs. Donkey Kong was, and it looks pretty good, and I'm sold. So to me, it was a really good Direct, but what do you think about the Direct? Do you think it's going to be a one that's looked at much better as time goes on, or do you think it's just a bad Direct in general and nothing really interested you? Let me know in the comment section down below, and thank you for checking out this reaction. I have a video coming out, but it's taking a little bit longer than I thought, so I thought I would bridge the gap with this. But thank you for checking this out. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this Direct, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.